Okay, back to the share screen. Where'd the agenda go? There it is. Okay,
Thanks, Betsy, for telling us this.
yeah,
You're welcome.
it's neat. Okay, so y'all got the minutes. I sent them there. Betsy sent them to me. I sent them in a separate email this morning. You got the agenda and you got the financial report. So we always bypass the reading of the minutes. So do you want to, somebody want to make a motion to dispense with the minutes, please?
Make a motion to dispense with minutes.
I second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
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 All right, and those minutes in the old review of the old business, which is in this agenda, are all here, and you'll have them to look at. Oh, why does that say November financial report? Well, it's not the November, it's February. So I need to correct that. So the financial report for, always, I tell you, we're always a month behind. Connie marks her original spreadsheet as March, but it's for February. And that's where we compare it to the RCB Bank. So go ahead, Connie.
Okay, well, we were matched up less 12 cents,
Yeah.
which I'll find it somewhere. I know it's that stripe crap that we got going on. And I just deposited the $750 that we got from local, what is it?
613.
Yes, 613. I was gonna say 631, 613. And then I deposited $25 from a check that we received. I transferred from Stripe, I want to say 30 some dollars, and then there's still some in Stripe that's not available to transfer till maybe tomorrow or Monday. They hold it back. I don't know why. So I want to say after, let's see, we had $100, $169 of debits. And so I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's where we're at, and he doesn't have the
Yeah,
other one up there. So
I mean,
I didn't print it out.
right.
I forgot.
You all have the spreadsheet there. You can look at it for each month. And at the end of February, as Connie's saying there on her spreadsheet, it's 10,410. And 44. And then on the RCB Bank, for the end of February, it's 10,410.32. So there's 12 cent difference. And I wrote this little line down here, as you see. I don't know. I think maybe, and I was going to finish it jokingly. Connie's taking 12 cents a month from us, so we got to watch her. Don't put that in the minutes, Betsy. It's just a joke. So that's our financial report. If there's any questions, again, you can look at the spreadsheet. You got any question, you could ask Connie at any time. That's part of our responsibility as a board to oversee that, especially those on the audit committee. That's the trustees. So can I have a motion to accept the financial report as read, please?
Make a motion to accept the financial report.
Okay. Second?
I guess I
I'll
can.
second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, and underneath that is, I give you the composite totals for donations so far for 2021. We have 112 total contributors, which amounts to $4,552. And then there's a breakdown there, as you can see, from Stripe 72, PayPal 14, and the total for Stripe and PayPal. And then the next category is checks and that Connie gets, and we're up to 26 checks. I think the last report was 15. I'm not 100%. She got a lot of checks. And then that total amount 1428. So if you add all that up, it comes to that 4552 plus the $7,500 carryover from last year. Means we've raised so far towards our goal of 15,000, $12,052.20. So we're still about 3,000 off from our goal. And again, with the people that contribute at high levels, this has gone up again. There's 12 gold level, there's 21 silver level, that's $60 or more. And then all the rest there's a couple helpers, but there's 79 bronze level, which is $24 a contribution. So it just gives you a breakdown of the donations and our fundraising here.
And Ken, I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
I would like to tell Stan, thank you for everything that you've done to get IBW to support us, and for that really, they sent me a copy of the letter that you sent them, Stan. I guess it's the one you wrote. It's really, really nice. I really liked it. Thank you very much, Stan, for doing what you did.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And that belongs on here too, is another category up here. It'll end up being under groups. I'll put another category groups, and then because we do get some, Stan's group is the biggest, but we do usually get something from Louisville and some other groups. And we get a couple commissions too, like RX Help Centers. And hopefully in the future, we're going to be getting some commissions from the healthcare plan, Benestar Anthem healthcare plan. We'll be getting some commissions there. So all that'll be recorded up here so that you guys can see as we're going along. Hopefully, we're going to see a tremendous increase in revenue and income, hopefully. We're going to skip over the old business here, folks. Save time. And go to new business, which is basically update with Benestar. We had a meeting with Benestar yesterday, and we went over the anthem, and then I put in parentheses, you're not seeing that on the screen, but there's like a subcontract of that to Empire as part of Anthem. That is going to be, it's called the Empire Medicare Advantage Plan, PPO, something or other in that policy. So we started that meeting, first of all, talking about marketing, good presentation, a professional firm that they have hired for marketing. The guy's name is Paul something. I can't even pronounce his last name. It's SYZARTO, if anybody can pronounce it. And he's the guy that's going to handle all the marketing. They've hired him, Benestar. And one of the big tools he's got is what they call a web crawler. And he guarantees he can get retirees all over the country, demographics and background and all kinds of stuff. You know, Connie was part of that meeting, Bob and Brian couldn't make it, but that sounds like a phenomenal program. And it's going to contact, they're shooting for a goal to begin. They know there's like 60,000 GE retirees online on the internet. They're shooting for 10,000 initially. And he said, we'll get a lot more. I guarantee we'll get a lot more. But if we could get 10,000, I think he said by June, didn't he, Connie, or Bob?
I want to say June.
Yeah, he said by June, he said we should have 10,000 people that will respond. Can you imagine that with a commission of 10 or 12 or $15? We haven't settled the commission part, but just that kind of growth if those people come in. And of course, we hope they enroll in the healthcare plan. So that was the first part of the meeting, was about marketing and all the other things they're going to do with the website, web page design on our site, what they're calling the Benestar portal, where how people will get into the enrollment part of Benestar. With on that page also have all the options and the rates and everything will all be part of that page, so they get background. Then we're talking about the webinar, doing a webinar for our members to hear about this program, this healthcare plan, this Medicare Advantage Healthcare Anthem plan, hearing all the options and all the rates, and explain to them, you know, and answering questions. So we look forward to doing that, and I think we're going to find that very interesting. We gave them a whole bunch of background information so far that we have from email distribution list and retiree chapters. And they even said they could crawl. Remember my concern about it was the participation or support of other Facebook GE retiree pages, which we know 6 to 8. He said 10 to 12 this fall. But they can crawl those, do that web crawler on those and get all the background information. I guess it's public. They can get it and they can notify them about this healthcare plan. And it doesn't have to come from me because, again, going back to the politics that people think we're trying to take over or take their members or whatever they're thinking. We're not trying to do that, but they can contact them directly without we're saying that GE Retiree Benefit Solutions is trying to take their groups over. So I found that pretty fascinating. Connie or Bob, do you remember any other things in the marketing or what Paul said that you would like to emphasize or say anything about?
No, not really.
No? Okay. Second part of the meeting was again about the policy and the actual policy. I believe I sent it to everybody. Very generic. The original copy we got, they called it a specimen policy, which means I guess it's just a generic policy. Well, we had it reviewed by Ed Stone, the lawyer, and Ed had a bunch of questions. I had a bunch of questions, and Connie and Bob were part of that meeting again, and they had questions because it wasn't specific enough. We're not signing any agreement until we know the options, we know the rates, we know how you can disenroll, we know all these different things. If people are not satisfied, they can disenroll in a group healthcare plan without penalty. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be specific before I'm signing any contract with these people. Is there a minimum amount of enrollees? I know that was one of your questions, Brian, and there isn't. They told us absolutely not. They would like to see at least 2 to get started. But if we're going to get 10,000 after they do this crawler, interested anyway, I'm sure we're going to get a bunch. And we had on a survey we already did back a couple months, we had over 100 people that were interested in listening listening to this Benestar Healthcare presentation. So we got interest already. So to answer your question, Brian, there's no minimum amount. Okay. We talked about portability and they answered those questions because in this generic contract, this specimen policy, it said something about interplans, which means Blue Cross has different facets or parts in different states. And we said, what's that mean? Is that going to change the rates in different states? Is that going to change the benefits in different states? And they said, no, it's going to be one policy, one rate, and wherever Medicare is accepted, those benefits will be accepted. And they said if they aren't, they'll do something to make it work. So that answered that question. There was a lot of questions on that sheet. I asked Don Trudeau from Benestar. I asked him to give us a specific policy agreement that we can read and see the options, the rates, the specifics, all the questions we asked. We would like those answered in that new contract before we sign it. And we got to get moving on this because we're talking about a kickoff of May 1st. And we were supposed to start the marketing of this March 1st. So with all these different entanglements, legal and marketing and putting this new guy on for marketing, it's been delayed. And, I'm trying to get patient. Sometimes I wonder what the hell they're doing. I've talked to Connie about it and said, what the hell's going on? We keep postponing, moving the date out. But there's a lot of complexities to this whole thing, and there's a lot of legalities to this. So we certainly don't want to rush and be liable. I think somebody else brought up a question about in this policy agreement, it said something about liabilities, our group being liable. And they said, no, no, that's not, don't worry about that. That's not gonna happen. You know, we do have liability insurance anyway. But they said that's not gonna happen. So I want that in writing. I want all that in writing. When I get the final agreement, with the questions answered from Don Trudeau from Benestar, I will send it out to the board. And, you know, we've been meeting with them, the four of us, Brian, Connie, Bob, and I, not the whole board. But we will have a board meeting. All of us have to approve this as a board. It's not just the four of us. All of us have to approve it. Okay, and it has to be a majority approval. All right.
John,
Yeah.
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
The thing he keeps talking about, the Medicare approved thing. Medicare tests these companies, all of them. They have to provide 85% of the money they take in for benefits.
Okay,
If they don't meet that, then they have to do something.
yeah,
So that's what he's talking about when they have to approve this and that.
okay,
They have to prove that, and I'm going to get the information out to each of you. I'm going to send Brian more,
right.
and I think when you see that, you'll understand how this works a lot better. I did. Just
Yeah.
understanding how this EW something anyway, that for the whole program of the group Medicare Advantage plans,
Right.
how they work. It'll be in what I send you, so that you'll have a much better ability to talk to those guys and understand what they're saying.
Yeah, Brian, Bob is gonna, Bob, I might as well bring this up right now. We asked Bob to be a chairperson of a new committee, and it's gonna be the Medicare Advantage Benestar liaison. But he's gonna have to work closely with you, Brian, so you understand this stuff and can answer questions as our benefits advocate. And Bob has accepted that, and so we're gonna take Bob off on the committees, on the organizational chart. We're gonna take him off the website. I'll take that over again. I was doing it anyway, really, except for some things. And Bob will take that new committee chairperson, and he's really, I mean, Bob and Connie got more knowledge about Medicare, Medigap, and all that stuff than I do. Medicare Advantage, we all could probably learn more. And Bob is pretty well informed and knowledgeable about a lot of those. And if he doesn't have the answers, he'll get the answers. That's why I'm saying he'll be a liaison.
Yeah, I just want to be a resource person for Brian.
Right, exactly.
And any questions, I'm going to give him every bit of information that he'll be able to answer the questions in that. But if he gets caught or stopped or thing, he'll be able to get a hold of me quickly.
Right.
And well, I'll get the answer to him.
Yeah, and you'll have a direct contact with Glenn or Don over there in Benestar, and you'll always get the answers. And you know how to do the research like you're doing already on Medicare Advantage plans. So you'll get the answer one way or the other and be a resource for Brian.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I responded to the email that Bob put out regarding all of this.
Yeah.
And told him that I wanted as much information as I could possibly get so that I
Yeah.
can better understand it, because I don't understand anything about the group insurance.
Yeah. Yeah. Group versus the private market.
Will soon.
Good.
It can get complicated, and as you all well know, that when they first switched over and everybody had to kind of fend for themselves, if you will, when they had those regional meetings, and people didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So welcome to the club, Brian, because that's how we all felt. We've had to learn as we go through our own personal experience, a lot of times, and our own personal research. So, you know, I didn't think, I don't know, because I haven't personally been involved with VIA benefits, but I've heard a lot of horror stories getting different answers and from different people that answer the phone. And being more confused after talking to them than understanding it, so. So we're learning on our own is the bottom line, right? You know, as you are too, you know, what you've been doing with the books you've been buying and different articles you've been reading, and now you'll have Bob to help out with the Medicare Advantage piece.
That's great.
Okay, so once we get this agreement done, folks, again, legalities and reviewed by Ed Stone, we definitely have to have a legal review on this, and Ed has already reviewed it in its generic form, but he'll review it again. He told us he's gonna not charge us for this, not charge us a legal fee. I told him he's entitled to. I said, just go easy on us. You know, I told him go easy on us. But he will review this before we sign it. Matter of fact, he may be our designee to sign it as our lawyer for our group. Keep them on their toes, okay? Ed's pretty smart, as you guys heard him when he talked about the pension de-risking. Okay. Any other questions on that policy agreement or marketing? That, you know, we're working hard at it. It just seems to be going slow, right? You know me, I like things done yesterday, but it doesn't work that way.
Don, I've got a question for Bob.
Okay,
Bob, since you've been working as a liaison and probably have more information than the rest of us about Benestar's plan, is their Advantage plan as a group any more advantageous than going out and getting one on the market?
the advantage of a group Advantage plan, Medicare Advantage plan is
Yeah.
they can tailor it to meet the group's wants or needs.
Right.
And there's certain, they can do more
And he has-
twists and turns than
Yeah.
just a regular Medicare Advantage. And you do have the right to disenroll and enroll
Right, anytime.
differently than you do the others. So
Are
it presents,
you talking about an individual being tailored to an individual or to a group?
no.
as a whole?
The group will all be the same,
Okay,
but the group can tailor the benefits
Right,
to what they want.
right. Like we've had a lot of things in when we went over the different options, I know it was a while back, but, and you'll see them again when it's gonna be like, what, 45 pages on each option or something.
You remember when we was talking about we can add the prescription with it, or we can have it without it?
Yeah.
Those are options that group things can do.
Right, but
Or-
they also they added like long-term care, nursing home care. I can't remember, fitness, whatever you call it, wellness, fitness, all that kind of. We added a lot of stuff to that plan, Rodney.
Okay.
You know, and that's what you can do, as Bob said, in the group plan versus, yeah, whatever they put out on the individual market, that's what you get, period. And he said, remember when we were designing it, he said, what do you people want? Here's what we can offer you. Do you want this in the plan? Do you want that in the plan? Do you want this? I said, yeah, put it all in there. If it
Did
isn't gonna raise the
that
premium.
answer what you was wanting, Rodney?
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to say to someone that's wanting to jump into the plan, our group plan is better than what you'd find out on the market. Now, there are a lot of different Advantage plans out there, so
Yes.
just wanted to see if ours would be any better.
The biggest advantage that we have is being able to disenroll and go back to Medicare okay.
Yeah, if they don't like it, yeah,
That's the biggest advantage of a group plan. Because that's a big no-brainer for not doing. For me, with an Advantage plan is after 12 months, I can't go back to my Medigap policy without health questions.
right. But another medical assessment.
And not that would stop me right now, but we don't know what's around the corner. Next week, I might have some severe illness that would keep me from doing that. So that's the biggest thing for me is being able to go back to regular Medicare with a Medigap policy without too much trouble.
With the standard Medicare Advantage plans that you get out there now, whether it's through Via Benefit or you go on your own to try to get them, a lot of them are restrictive networks, Rodney, and there's restrictive benefits. Where this is a group policy that's nationwide, that is uniform across, and wherever you are, whatever state you go on vacation someplace, you're covered. Any Medicare Advantage doctor or provider is covered in this plan. So
Yeah,
you're not restricted.
that's even a bigger advantage,
Yeah,
is being able to go out of network without paying more.
Mhm.
right, right. If you remember, again, going back to the options, and you'll see them again. You had an in-network, out-of-network with Benestar, the plans they designed, and they were exact same benefits, is it? And a regular Medicare Advantage you choose individually or through Via, that may not be the case. It's only in your geographical area
Right.
or state.
We'll see if we can put a bullet thing together for
Yeah.
people to use.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We have them already. Not that that's the final copy, but when we were reviewing it with Benestar, we had those graphical sheets that showed all those benefits and showed in and out of network and the prices, the co-pays, all that kind of stuff. Didn't give us the premiums at that point, but we will get the premium rates. Remember, they said for any of the options, they see the high end. On the high end, it'd be $100 a month, but they thought under 100 was where they were going to finally settle. And then there's the third option. If you have the RRA or the GPAF through Via Benefits, you can get just the Medigap part. It's a Medicare Advantage. I use the terminology and Don corrected me. It's still Medicare Advantage, but it's only without prescription. So they can keep their RRA and GPAF through, not lose that $1,000 in GPAF coverage through Via. They have to keep one part through Via. I know we went over this a while back, but we will go over it again. He's going to do a webinar, webinars, I should say.
I'm sure that marketing guy will have some better,
Yes,
some
yes,
better.
he'll have some better setup. Yes, he will, because he's going to do all that portal stuff and all that option stuff and all the rate stuff, and he's going to put that all together in a page for us, which they'll probably use in the webinars too. That'll all be available on that page on our website, Benestar portal, if you want to call it, Benestar page under Solutions Endorsed Benefits on our menu, and all that information will be available for anybody to look at.
Yeah, I'm thinking the main thing is going to be the premium rates. That's what people are really going to want to look at.
Yeah, initially, and when we start to market it, sell it, if you will, entice them, try to get them to enroll. When you start talking about enhanced benefits and add-ons and portability and disenrollment if you're unsatisfied without healthcare assessments in raising your rates, I mean, all that stuff's really important. I know they're going to look at price, Rodney. I know they are, but there's a lot of important pieces to this that they have to pay attention to. And if we don't know it as a group, how the hell are we going to promote it? Same token. So we're going to get an education in this too. And then, of course, we'll all have to jump back to Bob and Brian for final analysis. Bug them. Send everybody to them. We don't want to answer your question. Go to Bob, go to Brian. All right. Any other questions on that?
Yeah.
As soon as I have some final timeline dates and the agreement and blah, blah, you'll get it, folks. You'll get it. Like I say, we've been having a lot of meetings lately and trying to get this damn thing done. Okay, so all this part about that'll bring in membership growth and revenue, all that. The marketing campaign we already just talked about. The potential is dramatic with this guy in this marketing system and this web crawler. And I'm telling you, if you listen to this guy, he was phenomenal. to me. I mean, he's really talking, he can get a hold of people all over the country, retirees and dependents all over the country and get a lot of them. So we're good, good. Okay. Now the pension plan. We need to make a decision here what we want to do. We all listened to the Ed Stone presentation. I think y'all found it pretty powerful and enlightening about de-risking, and de-risking can mean freezes, buyouts, all that kind of stuff. Transfers to insurance companies are all part of de-risking. And Ed explained all that and showed us his slides and presentation. GE just did an investor day conference yesterday. One of the slides on there said, and Ed said this, he said, John, this is the tip of the iceberg. You know, whether it was the salary freeze, whether it was the buyouts, whether it was the transfers that they just did, the transfer they just did of 70,000 to that Althene group. You heard me say that GE is nibbling at the edges to see what they can get away with. But on this slide for this conference yesterday, they talked about de-risking the pension plan again. And to me, you know, they're giving warning where they're headed. And if they could de-risk that whole plan and sell it off to the big company is Prudential, there's other companies. I don't like this Althene group, and I'll tell you why I don't like them is because you heard me say that they're part of Apollo, a private equity. And I've had experience with Apollo in the GE Silicones plant, and they decimated the plant, wages and benefits, and then bankrupted it and sold it to the South Koreans. And I'm not feeling all that trustworthy to any plan being transferred to this company Althene. Prudential's got a little better standing than them, but still the whole idea, folks, of de-risking, I just believe that's where GE's going. Ed believes that's where they're going. Ed's got a ton of experience in this area. So do we want, at this point, I posted on our officer page the whole video. I don't know if anybody went on the officer page, see it's there. Where do we want to go with this? Do we want to show this to our members? Do we want to have a webinar where we show this to our members and invite the retiree reps across the country to be part of that too, to inform and educate people about the possibility of this happening in the future, this de-risking of the pension plan? I think we should. How's everybody feel about it?
Well, I agree 100% that it needs to be out there. I've just been reading somewhat this morning on something that else they did. It involves like a -8-to-1 buyback.
Yes, that's another thing they're doing right now.
And I don't understand the whole thing about that, but this
They call
kind
it
of
a
falls in
reverse
line with
split.
that de-risking. I mean, we need to get people informed about what this company's doing.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can to reduce their costs, from layoffs to the split that Brian's talking about. It's called a reverse split. You don't get like 8 shares for your 1 share. You get 1 share, they take back 8 or some baloney. I don't know what the hell they're talking about in this thing. I've never heard of it before. They said other companies have done it. But they're doing anything to lower their debt and their liability and their cost. That's what they're doing.
Seemed to me the biggest thing about that whole thing they're doing is under the plan as it is now that we have, we're protected by the government. If they take, if they say we can't pay your pension anymore,
Yeah.
you should still get 100% of our pensions through this government program that works to help people when this happens.
Yeah, PBGC.
And once they transfer that to an insurance company or somebody,
Yep.
that protection goes down to 50%, I think.
Well, it goes to
Instead of
state
100.
mandates at that point.
So-
It goes to state mandates.
That's, that's a huge hit on all of us.
Yes, it is.
It's very, again, Ed talked about this, but once it goes down to the state, you're no longer under, well, I think you're under ERISA, but you're no longer to a point, but you're no longer under PBGC for guarantee. In other words, if they don't manage that money right, you could lose your pension. You understand?
So I think the more people know about this, the more calls could be made to their representatives and stuff and say, hey, don't let them start doing this stuff.
Right. We also could get a better representation. This will fall under you, Rodney, as outreach and collaboration, the old rally deal. You know, we could get a lot more people probably down at the share owners meeting if they have it live instead of Zoom, but get them there to say, no, you're going too far with this de-risking. You're going too far with this stuff. You know, we got to make our voices heard and we got to do it collectively. So I think we ought to do a webinar with our members on pension de-risking, invite Ed to come. Invite the retiree reps, the other retiree reps that meet with GE in the fall and go to the share owners so that they're informed on this. To be honest with you, I sent it in the background to Dennis Rajalo, and you know who he is, the guy that filed the salary lawsuit over the healthcare. I don't want to mention the other guy's name, but he was high up in benefits. And he's always given me information about the pension plan. And he said, wow, that was enlightening. Your presentation was enlightening. And it needs to be told to people. I mean, that was his opinion.
John, you want to do this on Facebook, right?
Zoom well, we could do it Facebook, but Facebook, you can't have the interaction. You can do a presentation, you could do a live chat, but on Zoom, you could at least have the interaction. You know? And
Well, if you did it on Facebook, you're going to have a lot more people looking at it. And
Yeah.
the more people you got looking at it, the more people.
That's a
Well,
very good point.
but the other thing with Facebook is, you know, well, I shouldn't say that. I guess, Connie, we're restricted just to members, right, on Facebook. So I was thinking other people could get in there and see what's going on, meaning GE. What are these guys doing? Why are they raising this kind of crap?
G's going to know what we're doing anyway.
I
That's
know
just
they
the way
are.
it is.
I know they
Yeah.
are. I already told them I'm very unhappy about Althene. I already told them. I said, I want that brought right back to the top. I don't trust Althene under Apollo doing any of the de-risking of this pension plan. I don't care if it's only 70,000. I said, I don't trust them.
Well, the more they know we're stirring this up, maybe the more they'll think about not doing it.
You know, that's the point.
And well, what scares me about that is the more that do know about it, the quicker they may want to get it done. So it's, you know, one of those
Mm,
I guess that's true.
situations.
yeah.
It's like a double-edged sword, any way you look at it.
Well, you know something where people get foolish, and I told you about this experience. When they start hearing buyouts, they get foolish about money. You tell them you got to go see your financial advisor. Do not choose between an annuity and a buyout without talking to you. I told you about the group when I first come down here, the CPAs that were former GE CPAs, bean counters, financial people. And GE offered whatever it was, 100,000, 45,000 took it. But the woman came to me over at the condo community where I was. She said, I understand. I heard you're running a retiree group for GE. And I said, yeah. And remember, she said, well, what's your advice on this buyout or taking in the annuity? I said, oh, no, you're not getting me into that position. I said, you guys are bean counters for crying out loud. And I said, what's your group saying? And she said, well, about 50% wanted to take the buyout and 50% want to take the annuity. They couldn't even make up their own minds. And I said, well, I'm not going to tell you what one way or the other how to do this. So I think only about 45,000 took it, the buyout thing out of that number. The rest stuck with the annuity on that. So
Johnny,
that's-
can I
yeah.
jump in? Can I jump in real quick? I gotta be excused. But so if you would just take my name, picture off or whatever, but sorry about that, but
I gotta go out for a minute.
something's come up, so I gotta leave.
All right, Stanley.
All right, thanks.
Yes, Dan.
Kind
Yes,
of
Stanley.
going to the bathroom or something.
No,
I'm sorry. What's the matter?
trying to get out.
Okay, you're trying to get up. Okay.
What was that flash?
Hey, Betsy,
That
that's a
was a
nice
Ninja Turtle
background.
move right there.
Everybody see Betsy's background?
Yeah, thanks.
Um, I think we ought to do the webinar. Does anybody have any objection to that? We invite the retiree reps to come if they want to come. I hope they would come.
I think I agree with that. I think the more information you have, that's always to me been the better.
All right. Anybody else got an opinion?
No, I agree.
Okay. Rodney?
Now, the last time we had a webinar, how many people do we actually have get on it? Wasn't that many, was there?
No, there wasn't that many, but this is a big ticket item. If you ever notice, whenever I did a post, whether it was on the news page or on our page, you get,
We had one Facebook thing. There was a lot of people on.
well, that
And
was,
that's on Facebook.
yeah, that was the live chat on Facebook.
Yeah,
But that takes away the interaction. Now, other than they can type, but I can't run a meeting and watch all the messages. Connie was constantly sending me over my phone, and I said, I can't, this is tough to manage for me. It was anyway.
I think make it where people can ask questions and they'll be answered as somebody can get to them.
Well, that's what I'm
Not
saying.
necessarily that day, at least they will be answered on the website. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
Okay, well, what we'll need to do is put it out there on Facebook to get everybody.
yes, over
get
to
on
the
the
other. And, you know, I was thinking about the wording, you know, we strongly, our solutions group strongly endorses this and your participation, because this is a big item, you know, a big ticket item for us. We certainly don't want to see, we've already seen healthcare affected. We don't want to see our pensions affected. We've seen little, 3 different, not really even little, pretty good sized nibbles already at the pension plan through freezes and buyouts and transfers. You know, we're getting concerned. And I think we'd get a good response, Rodney. I do.
Now, John, did you say you saw a slide where they were talking about de-risking?
Yeah, let me see. Let me see if I got it. I think I got it. Let me see.
You want to make sure you capture that as well.
Oh, I did. I already sent it to Ed.
Yeah, because there'll be a big pushback from G if they find out what we're going to bring up. They'll really pull out both guns on us. So we'll have to
Oh,
be-
I know. I'm gonna, believe me, minute I post that, they're gonna come to me, from Kevin Cox to Culp.
But if they put it out there, they can't, there's not much they can say.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find this.
We have a right to have information,
Yeah. Dang
I
it.
had to run out real quick, so I missed some of this. Did we decide how we're gonna do this?
We didn't decide the method we're
Okay.
gonna use, other than, some suggestions have been out there, due to publicity on Facebook, try to do it on, Zoom and see what kind of response. If we don't get a great Zoom response, we could always switch back to Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying?
John,
But
Live-
like you said, we
I've
can
been
only
to
do
a
it on
lot of-
our group.
I've been to some Zoom things with a lot of people and
Yeah.
they had the same trouble getting to speak or answer a question or ask a question as Facebook. I didn't
Yeah.
see much difference.
Well, Connie, what I was talking about was, remember when we did the live chat, we had a lot of people there, and you kept trying to give me, John, you got a question, John, you got a question, and
Mhm.
because I couldn't keep track of everything and run the
Right.
meeting. And it was difficult. I found it very difficult to try to, I mean, I know you were trying to help me, and so was Melody at the time,
Mhm.
and I just couldn't keep up with it, you know?
Yeah, but if we do it Facebook Live, you're still not gonna be able to get a lot of people on there, I don't think. Yeah, I guess
No.
you can. I don't
Geez,
know.
I think we
I'll
had,
have to check on that.
I'm gonna say, maybe I'm way off base here, Connie, but I'm gonna say we had 1,000 that time. I'd have to go back and find that darn thing. I know it's still on it's on our Facebook page, Connie. If you look at,
Yeah,
put it in there for live chat or something, I think you'll find it. And it'll give you the stats of how many people participated. It was quite big.
I think a lot of people went and saw it afterwards. After it was up.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop this. I was trying to do a new share here and find the thing, but I'm not finding it. So let me look at my, why does this block me from going to my,
Because you're sharing that screen.
yeah, it's blocking me from, oh, okay, I didn't stop it. That's why. There you go. Thanks. Let me find that page that I talked about.
Man, that sure looks nice there, John.
What's that?
Pine
The palm
pine
trees?
trees and ocean breeze and
Oh, here it is.
What
over
are you
there.
talking about, Bob? You're up there and it looks like the International Space Station.
He's always been there, Rodney.
I can just barely see the beach from here.
Let's see here. There we go. Okay, now I should be able to bring it up. Now I should be able to bring it up. Let's see. Go back to the meeting, go back to share. There we go. Here it comes. Is it up there? Are you seeing it?
Mhm.
Okay, over here on the right, you see where it's talking about debt reduction and contingents. Over here where I'm moving the mouse around,
Mhm.
see where it says the second or the first bullet item is actively de-risking required contributions pre-funded through at least 2023. Now, when they say actively de-risking, this is what they've done so far, and they feel like with the numbers, interest rates and discount rates, that they got themselves covered till 2023. But they're always looking for other ways to de-risk that pension, to take the liability off here. This whole thing is about getting rid of liability and debt. And that even being put there, they know it's going to raise questions amongst people. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where they mention it again, actively de-risking. And I said, yeah, and there's more coming. Because they keep, did I send all of you the UBS pension analysis, pension analysis document? Did y'all get that? Because in that, it's like 26 pages, folks. And it talks about all of GE's de-risking plans and what they hope to accomplish out of them, how much they've saved with ones they've already done. It's pretty informative. That's the one I said to Ed Stone. I said, Ed, you need to look at this and go through this. Because Ed keeps telling me, John, they aren't done. They are not done. I'm telling you right now. So that's the one, Rodney, you wanted to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we need to make that decision. Do we want to, we're going to do it. I think we're all in favor of doing the webinar, whether we do it on Facebook Live chat or Zoom. Let's say originally, let's promote it on Facebook. Let's tell them it's going to be Zoom. If we get a poor response on Zoom, then we'll just decide to go back to Facebook Live chat and do it on there. But I'm going to need help as far as participants and questions and stuff like that. I'm going to need other people to take some responsibility here when we do it. As far as questions and answers and stuff like that. Okay. How's that sound?
Good.
Good?
Sounds okay.
I just think that you're not going to get as many people on Facebook Live because our group is private. And so I would think that they'd have to. I'll do
Oh,
some
you're right.
research
You
on
know
that.
what? That eliminates the retiree reps from across the country in their groups, you know? You're right, Connie. We got to try Zoom, folks. We'll promote it on Facebook. We'll try Zoom. It gives us a larger audience. Other people do need to hear this other than our group and our members.
Yes, exactly. That needs to be out worldwide if we can get it.
Yep. And you know, hey, we're going to invite them. Of course, you know, there's politics involved, as I keep continually tell you. What's he trying to do now? What's he doing now? Well, I've talked to some pretty knowledgeable people on this, from Ed to to this benefits guy, to Dennis, other people, and they say, man, they're heading in the same direction. A lot of other companies that decimated their pension plans. They're taking little nibbles right now, but they're going for the big one. They want to get out.
According to what I'm reading, you can switch the live, you can change your privacy settings on the live, but you can't even share the link until that's done. And so you'd have to tag friends, or I don't know how you do it. Maybe post the link and then change the settings. Why don't we experiment after a while? I'll experiment on the one that I have by myself,
Okay,
and then I'll see if I can tag you to it.
okay.
I'll change the settings.
Why don't I, to start to spark interest, why don't I put a post on Facebook saying we're gonna have a webinar very shortly. We're deciding whether to do Facebook Live, chat or Zoom. We will notify you shortly, but you know, we really want to do this pretty quick, in my opinion. We want to get this done and out of the way before we have to do any kind of webinar with Benistar or anything else, you know. We want to get this done, in my opinion.
You won't be able to answer questions on Facebook Live either. I mean, I don't know how you'd be able to do that.
I know, because I can't read all those comments and run the meeting and follow the agenda. I can't do it.
Well, really, why do you want everybody asking all kinds of questions?
Yeah,
Give
really.
them-
I mean, that's what it's
Yeah.
there, is explaining what de-risking
Yeah.
is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If they can't get the grip of that, that's, I
don't see why this needs to be a question and answer thing either.
Right.
exactly.
okay. Just the presentation. If they have questions, we could do something like, I could do like a Survey Monkey. If you got questions, put them on Survey Monkey and we'll review them with a lawyer and ask them to give us some answers to these questions. We could do
If
that.
they want to know something, they can look up de-risking. I mean, it's out there on Google or anywhere else.
Yeah.
You can see the examples of other companies that have done it.
You know, Rodney, I know you do that stuff. I do that stuff. Connie, all the rest of the board does that stuff, but you know, a lot of our retirees want us to do the work for them.
Well,
The main thing, we want people talking about this,
Yeah, yeah.
and just holding the informational thing
Yeah.
gives them that opportunity.
All right. Well, then that's what we'll do. We'll say, listen, if you got questions and stuff, you can submit them, or we'll do a Survey Monkey thing where you can submit them. And we'll do our best to answer all your questions later on. But we're gonna just do a presentation for today to make you aware of what's going on.
Well, we need to make absolutely sure that the other advocates of the other groups are in on this. One of the things that I was reading this morning about that reverse stuff was that the only protection that we have or going to have is what we can get through the CBC. So we need to get everybody on board.
Well, who was telling me, who the heck was I talking to? Said, forget about the CBC, the last contract, they all got arguing, they all decided to go their own ways.
That's true.
It really got, it's kind of, it's,
that's devastating, because that's divide and conquer, and that's what happened.
yep. And they're down so small now. I think they're under 6,900 now. You know how big the CBC used to be with all the different locals and international unions and.
If we don't take up the European Union type thing, unions are going to disappear.
Well, like Rodney just said, one of the strategies forever, even in local plants, was divide and conquer. Let's give the maintenance people a raise, but we won't give the operators a raise, that kind of stuff. Let's give the technicians local a raise.
In the
not give
European type
the-
thing, they're all one union. And when they want to strike, they want a raise or something, they pick the company that's the most needed to operate the country, and they go on strike.
well,
And so all the other people just keep working, and they support the group that's on strike. And then after a length of time, you're like, look, we got to have those guys back working, so give them a raise.
Well, I don't see any power left in the CBC or the union right now. And surely, I was even thinking about writing to them and saying, hey, we as retirees are very concerned about this issue. Now, of course, they're more interested in just saving jobs, active jobs right now versus us retirees, our pension or our healthcare. You saw what happened. I mean, they did fight the lawsuit, but
Well, there's a lot of us out there retiring.
yeah, there's a ton we got a lot more than they got. I'll tell you that right now. They're just like, gee, they hope we die and go away. So
We will one day.
yeah, soon enough. And there's nobody.
Hey, John,
Yeah,
one of the things that we can do if we do it by Facebook Live is once you save it, you can make it into a YouTube video and then share it that way.
yes, I'm glad you said that because I don't know if it was Ed. I think it was Ed. Said once we get it done. Oh, well, when we were talking with Benestar the other day, they were even talking about their webinar, and then you'll have the video. Anybody wants to see the video, they can go to the page and see it. We can
Yeah,
do
a
the
lot
same
of
thing.
churches are doing that since the pandemic.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
we can do the same exact thing, Connie. We could do the webinar, video record it, put it on our page. If you didn't have a chance to see this, we strongly encourage you to watch it. Blah, blah. Share
But
it.
I'm saying if you make it Facebook Live, all you have to do is hit the 3 dots after you can save it, and then you can save it as a YouTube video. The way I'm understanding it.
Yeah,
I'll mess with it.
yes, because if you go on that page, Connie, you'll find our live chat thing there. It was
Okay.
pretty darn good. I know it's in there because I know I've looked at it.
All right.
All right, so we will do that. We will get that set up. I will start to promote that. We will make an invitation to the retiree reps. Again, though, with the retiree reps and get more people involved, we're gonna have to look more towards Zoom than Facebook, but we can promote it on Facebook and see what kind of response we get. Maybe we'll have to do it both ways. I could invite Ed to do a presentation to the retiree reps and ask them to share with their members. All right, we'll refine that, but we'll go ahead with that. Okay, the name change, I'm still waiting for the IRS letter. That's, the bank is waiting for that before the last thing we have to switch over is our bank account. And they want that IRS letter. Well, I screwed up. I think I told you people I screwed up and put the wrong EIN number in the letter and I had to redo it. Thankfully, I got a very nice lady from IRS that was very helpful. And she said, resubmit it, matter of fact, in Kansas County, to that center there, because that's where you're incorporated, and put on their second notice and appreciated be expedited. And I did all that. So I'm going to check my post office box again tomorrow. I'm hoping it's going to be there, and then we can get the bank account switched over. And legally, we are at that point, if we get the letter and switch the bank, we've done Kansas, we've done IRS, and we've done our bank, and our legal name is G Retiree Benefit Solutions, Inc. Legally, across all spectrums. Okay. Everybody understand that one? Okay.
Yeah, so some of us who've made many mistakes over the years, we understand.
Yeah. I was embarrassed. I was how I started the IRS lady. She said, what the hell number you say? What's your EIN number? I said, but she said, no, that's not what you got in the letter. I said, you gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. I transposed a couple numbers or something. Cloning. I don't know. All right. The rest of this committee chairs, anybody have anything to report from their committees? Anybody have anything? Communications,
Been
Betsy?
pretty quiet on my end. I mean, I do look at our Facebook, read through it, as well as I go to the other retiree to see what questions they're asking. And most of those questions can all be answered by retirees there on the sites. So
Yeah.
I don't have anything formally working.
Okay. Betsy, you got anything with communications? I know Betsy put a post out there looking for people to help out with the newsletters, and I supported that. I don't know if the rest of you saw it.
Yeah, I put a support thing on there.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to report. I did do the minutes and that post.
Okay. Rodney, you got all the stuff I sent you about like National Committee, Social Security Works, all those different organizations that AARP. You got anything to report on any of that stuff?
No, but the next big thing will probably be this de-risking thing that you're going to talk about. And
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
make sure to spread that out all over the place.
Absolutely.
Because the only time we get any interest in our group is when they know they're going to get their pocketbooks hit or
Yep.
they're going to lose benefits. And that always gets everybody.
Sparks them. That's when we get the 1,500 responses, Rodney.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the truth too. When I post something over on the news page and if it has to do something with pension or anything out this reverse split, oh, the people go crazy in their responses.
Well, that's what people's wanting from us. They're wanting information and letting them know what's happening.
Yeah. Connie, anything else on financial fundraising, PayPal, Stripe, anything?
No, I'm just going to be sending a couple of thank you cards, one to the IBEW and another couple that sent a big donation. So
Great,
that's about it.
great. Yeah, that's always important to acknowledge those people.
Mhm.
Website, well, I'm really doing this. Bob's gonna jump off to liaison with Benestar and Medicare Advantage and support Bryant. Anybody using the chat port? Connie, Bob, Brian, anybody been on there?
No,
I haven't been on it lately, no.
We're paying, I think we paid $470 for that. I don't know, we ought to just cancel that. If people are not using it, if you guys aren't monitoring, I haven't had a chance to be on there. I've been just too damn
I
busy.
sign into it all the time, but I
Yeah.
don't ever see any messages.
yeah, I guess I shouldn't say I'm not using it. I just haven't had nothing. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
so,
nobody's really using it. I mean, I've posted a couple times, we do have a customer service portal and there are board members that are monitoring it, but it's kind of died off.
Well, we've got the contact forms that they can use in place of it, so.
Yeah. So what do you think? Should we cancel it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yes.
I say let's cancel it. Okay, good enough. All right, and of course, I'm always doing, you don't know this, but I go on the officer page and the top 3 sections of the officer page is saying, can't find the information. I called GoDaddy this morning. I'm getting a little perturbed with GoDaddy. I gotta be honest, we pay them a big maintenance fee. And they're just not coming across. And 3 sections were missing on the top, the profiles of board members, the organizational chart, and the national retiree rep profiles were all gone. So I called them this morning. I said, what the hell's going on? Connie, you remember, Connie brought up about the loading speed of our website.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, and I created a maintenance ticket for that, and they're still working on it. They say they got some technical glitch. Well, I don't know what they did, but they screwed up the officer page. And I
You know,
told them, you
John,
gotta
that-
correct that.
That guy talked about that in that meeting that he might want to suggest us doing something different. I think we ought to listen to him.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up, because Dan Austin, that's the guy that Bob's talking about, made a number of suggestions. He's an IT man, used to be a big IT man for GE. He suggested we look at SiteGround. That's the name of the hosting company, SiteGround. He said they're phenomenal. He said their customer service is phenomenal. Their
Oh, I think we-
servers, speed.
Let him help us with that.
Well, I asked him if he would be willing to join us and be a website coordinator, and he said, no, I haven't got time.
Oh.
But he was willing to look at our page and give me some recommendations, security, speed, hosting, customer service, all that kind of stuff. We talked for quite a while.
Oh, we can,
Assuming
talk-
he can get on.
you can talk to them.
Yeah, all right, so that's what I guess I'm asking for is approval to set up a meeting with, I'll talk to him first with SiteGround, and then we'll have a board, we'll invite him to our board meeting, maybe the next one, and ask him to give us a little presentation.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
I'm good with that.
and I'm getting perturbed with GoDaddy. I mean,
Right.
it's very hard to get through to customer service. And then they told me, well, we'll connect you with the website builders team. And because you got a big site and all that stuff. Well, I can't get through to them either. You know?
I'd like to make a motion that we have John do this with this other site and see what comes of it.
Okay,
I'll
second,
second.
all right, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
all right, so we will look at that. We already talked about Bob as new committee chair. I guess I never even finished this sentence, Bob. I'm ashamed here, but
Sorry.
as liaison and all that, I see the cursors right there. I never moved it. I was updating it. And that's what I have. Stanley isn't here for elections. Charlie isn't here. I think I'm gonna go look at the record and see how many meetings Charlie has missed. And I don't want to hear that, well, I get too many emails and I can't find it. I'm sorry, that's not a legitimate excuse to me. So we might have to make a decision there.
What do you plan on doing as far as getting another one? We're hard pressed to find people to help us as it is.
I know, but that's the bylaw rules and we put it in there for a reason, obviously. Because some people would not, if they're not gonna come and they're not gonna participate, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, because it was even hard to get the audit sheet done, waiting on him too.
yeah. I had to chase him. I gotta constantly chase him. I don't know what's going on with him, if he's sick or, I'll try again to contact him and see if he's been sick or something, but I'll kind of I'll say, I'm giving you an official warning from the board that you're very close to in violation of the bylaws as far as a trustee. I mean, what else can I do? Well,
Mhm.
listen, geez, I don't know if I should say.
Oh,
something.
no, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You're recording everything.
Yeah. Some of you know my opinion, so. All right, so is there anything else anybody needs to cover? There's all the dates for the meetings going forward, our monthly meetings. I'm sorry about all the extra meetings, but we're right in the middle of a lot of big projects and big things going on, folks, so it'll get less as we go along, but right now we got a lot of stuff going on,
Okay.
okay? Everybody happy?
Yep.
I'm happy as a lark.
You're in outer space, that's why you're happy.
Hope you had a good birthday yesterday, John.
I did have a good birthday.
Good.
One of the nicest things was my daughter and I have been estranged and she actually contacted me last night and that was pretty powerful.
That's wonderful.
Great.
That's great.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a good birthday present. But
And by what was going on Facebook, you got an awful lot of people that at least were thinking of you. I saw well over 100 reactions.
oh yeah, plus my personal page. I mean, like Connie says, I just had to just check the likes, like, and then put down on the end, thank you all for your thing. I couldn't do individual thank yous. I couldn't keep up.
I don't know, but I think a close second's probably Brian's fighting with Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
All those pictures you made, Rodney, that people posted.
They wouldn't think it was so cute if they had to get out there and go face to face with one.
It may be a long story, but I had some problems with skunks. And one night I was watering the flowers on the front porch. It was already about 9 o'clock dark, and I saw something come from the road. As it got closer, I thought it was a cat, because I had a cat bowl on the front porch. And when it got close enough, I saw a white stripe on it, and I had the water hose, so I'm like, get away. And I sprayed it. Well, it took off running back, trying to run across the road. And my German Shepherd saw it and thought it was a cat and went after it. And next thing I know, the animal's crying and whimpering and carrying on, and it comes running to me wanting sympathy, and I sprayed it too. Well, my wife was inside, and she just happened to glance and saw me spraying the dog. She thought I was being mean to it. She runs out there and goes, "What are you doing to her?" And I'm like, get away, get away. And it ran up to her and rubbed all over her when she tried to
Oh,
pet her.
gee.
Oh,
She
my.
had skunk all over. So I'm like, I tried to tell you. And I walk on around back with a hose, and I'm watering the flowers in the back. And I look up the upstairs window, and I see the window raise up. And the next thing I know, there's a pair of blue jeans go flying out the back window and lands at my feet. And I said, "You want me to hose those off too?"
Oh,
But yeah, it's
yeah.
we've had some dealings with skunks.
Oh, boy. So, we got a new, a name for you two, Skunk Brothers.
Yeah, right.
Pepe and his brother, Pew Pew. Oh,
Well, I wish you luck on getting rid of those guys.
Well,
You're
I
afraid
think
me,
I've gotten
I'm
rid
gonna
of
have
them. Like I
I'm
told
gonna have
John
them.
earlier, that February and March is the actual mating season for skunks. So I think I had a female under there, and she had 2 callers that came. So I think I've eliminated all of them. Well, I know I've eliminated them, but I've had no more for the past 3 days or nights.
when you come back from vacation, there'll be a whole family.
Oh, God.
The people will be calling your place the skunk farm.
Yeah.
Probably will be moving pretty soon, folks. Anybody know any good real estate agents? We're only kidding you, Brian.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all
You
good.
got to face these type of things when you live out in the county.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so if everybody's happy after those stories, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's when I always hear the most ayes when we adjourn. Okay, I'm gonna shut off the recording and we're gonna end this thing, folks.
All right. See you later.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
That's it.